How long have you known Dave Canterbury, or how did you meet him? And the other question is, can you tell us something about your childhood?
My God. Yes, Frank. Dave, I didn't know who Dave was. I met him at they call it a chemistry test, where they picked 4 people, military, and 4 wilderness. I was the only hippie there, but 4 wilderness people. And I went against them and won that round, and then they weren't quite convinced on Dave yet. They brought back 3 more people, military, special forces, and Dave. Then they had me go back again and train with 4 more guys. I went through 11 of them. And Dave has a lot higher skill level because the military is not known for outdoor survival. Just like I don't teach my students here how to kill insurgents. That's not the mission. So I went E9 Army Special Forces commanders, Navy SEAL, Green Beret, Ranger, SEER instructor. They were looking all over the world to bring them in. And they needed to keep up because I'm not going to be with the slacker on TV because I'm damn good at what I do because it's what I do.
Were you really mad at Dave when he killed the alligator?
I think being in a survival situation and going after something that can take you out is a bad idea. So yes, I wasn't very happy with Dave. And I was a little bit upset. Could you tell?
When you were in Cambodia and Dave made that cigarette filter, and then he started drinking river water later on, how sick did he get?
He didn't. Dave's done some sketchy stuff, and he didn't. The pathogens, the waterborne pathogens, bacteria, viruses, protozoa, and parasites that get people ill, you don't see them, and that's the problem with that. You're not going to take a cigarette filter where these pathogens are microns in size and have them do a damn bit of good. And I've argued that over and over again, and I always will. Water, we know how precious that is in our country. You don't want to mess around with it. It was louse, and he did not get ill on that, and he's drank some nasty stuff, but no one's drank more nasty stuff than we have here in Arizona out in the back country, because you got to drink it, and we all know how that is if you've been camping. But he was okay after that.
Hey, Cody. 3 questions. My son was wondering what your favorite wild food is.
My favorite, my God. I like fruits. From the show, I just really don't even. It
doesn't have to be on the show.
Saguaro fruit.
And another question that wouldn't have to be on the show, what was your most difficult survival situation?
I think cold. Well, shoot. Cold. Well, I don't know if it was Nova Scotia with the cold or. I don't know how to answer that question.
Off the show, what was your most difficult?
Off the show, I've had some courses where we were very sick and required an evacuation. I mean, I do this stuff for real, off camera. And there's some scary stuff that I do in courses where I'm pushing the envelope and sometimes you break through. And that's just the way it is. And that's how real survival is. And no one should take that for granted. Again, it's a TV show, folks. You don't take some of this stuff and go out in the backcountry. Never bet your life on a television show. I don't give a damn who's on the show.
The last question is a Dave question. It seems like you guys actually got along most of the time. Did you? Or is that
Dave is very sweet to me. He'll probably be pissed I use that word sweet. He has a lot of respect for me. He knows my background. I'm like his little brother. And I believe if we were in a bar fight, he'd definitely fight for me and kick some ass.
What was your first show in?
What was the first show what?
Where was the first show took place at?
Nova Scotia, up in Canada. It was very cold. That was the first one that we shot in January of this year. Did it?
When you guys shot your Arizona episode, where was that located at? Where was the shoot?
We shot outside of Young, that little town of Young, just out in the bush, out in that part of Arizona. Beautiful, but it was cold, and they found that out real quick. You don't come to the mountains in Arizona in April and expected to go Baldy. So we all know that, but they didn't. Haha, they're from New York City.
Cody, come with me.
I'm an only kid. I was in a military family. We moved around a lot. So nature was kind of my only companion. I've been into doing more with less for a very long time. And I started as a hobby in town with all the summer camps. No one would hire me, teaching survival skills. I have my rejection letters from all the colleges in town, including Yavapai College. Save them. Save your rejection letters, you know, because you can wallpaper later. But basically, if you have a dream, hopefully there's some YC students here or whoever, if you have something you're passionate about, don't let anyone sway you from it. Never.
I have two questions. One is, do you wear shoes in the winter when it's snowy?
I wear usually 3 pairs of non-threadbare wool socks. And I would explain the physiology, but it would be a little bit longer than we have time for. What's the second one?
Are you still friends with Dave?
Yes, Dave and I are still on speaking terms.
I have 2 questions. One, where is Dave now?
His name's not Waldo, dude. How the hell?
The second one is, where was Dave born?
Let's get out of here.
My question was, after one of your adventures, where do you guys go? Like, do you go to eat, like a buffet or something?
I mentioned the Brazilian women, right? No, we don't do any of that sort of stuff. It's very busy. Yes, we eat, and everything's kind of, you know, an airplane or whatever. I mean, we get to certain places before we shoot in the vehicle, you know. So when we're off, we eat, and we eat a lot, and I eat a lot before I go. That's what I do. I'm teaching a course in the field the next 2 days, and I will eat a lot before I do that as well.
Thanks.
During the Louisiana swamp, how did you feel being barefoot, like with around the snakes?
Yeah, that was the worst snake problem. The cottonmouths were just like ticks on a dog. So that was fairly uncomfortable for me. But as long as I'm paying attention, which I'm used to paying attention, I don't recommend anyone doing that in Louisiana or pretty much any place else for that matter. But you have to look at the native peoples. I mean, a lot of them died probably because of that. But there is no knee-high boots, you know, way back when. So, but that was freaky, especially in the tall grass. And luckily, I didn't get hurt, and no one else got hurt as well on that.
Like I noticed on some of your shows, Dave was more of a risk taker. Is there a reason for that?
Dave is a risk taker. Yeah. That's Dave's personality. I'm much more conservative. You spend 20 years with students in the real backcountry doing real survival skills. You can't do that sort of stuff. Okay, that's not supporting life. Any more questions? I can't hear you.
How many beaches have you been to?
How many beaches? Like sandy beaches? Probably a baker's dozen. Maybe less.
Let's give Cody a big hand.